Hi, and welcome, Chicago Debates community. We at Chicago Debates are all excited about this upcoming debate season, and to get you all just as excited and a small glimpse of what the core files will look like this year, we filmed a staff demo debate that used middle school times and used a key few arguments from the core files that you all will be working with this year. In this video, we'll be debriefing the key arguments made in that demo debate video. So if you haven't watched that yet, head over to our YouTube page, which is just at Chicago Debates, and you can find it and watch that one first. And just a reminder, this year's resolution is the United States federal government should enact substantial criminal justice reform in the United States in one or more of the following: forensic science, policing, or sentencing. And so now we'll get into an explanation of the arguments. First, on the affirmative side of the debate, the AF was arguing in favor of the United States federal government eliminating money bail. So when a person is arrested and charged with a crime, a judge gets to decide what happens to them as they wait for their trial. And a common option judges have for defendants is to post bail, which means the defendant agrees to pay an amount of money decided by the judge that they will lose if they don't show up for their trial. And so there are two main reasons, or two advantages, that the affirmative presented on why we should end money bail. So first was the rights advantage. Money bail disproportionately harms and discriminates against low-income people and infringes on their constitutional rights. By doing so, we're undermining the rule of law, which destroys U.S. leadership, also referred to as U.S. hegemony. And the impact for that advantage was strong U.S. hedge prevents global war. The second advantage was the economy advantage. So detaining people before trial because they can't pay bail is expensive, and it causes larger economic costs for them. And the economic inequality caused by the system slows the entire economy down. And the impact for this advantage was economic decline leads to a global war. So now on the negative side of the debate, the negative team read one off-case argument and a couple of key on-case arguments. So first, on their off-case argument, the negative team read the federalism disadvantage, or federalism DA. The federalism DA argued that the states leading the way with the coronavirus response has brought a renowned interest and power to state governments. But the affirmative infringes on the power of state governments by enacting a federal criminal justice reform act. So keeping this delicate balance and empowering the state governments is important so the states can respond effectively and quickly to the coronavirus pandemic. And the impact of the DA was responding to the pandemic as effectively as possible is necessary for economic recovery. And keep in mind that this was also the same impact that the affirmative made on the economy advantage. So next, on case, the rights advantage, the negative team argued that money bail is actually the solution, not the problem for defendants and the public. The Supreme Court has repeatedly rejected constitutional challenges to the use of money bail, and by eliminating it, it poses a public safety risk. Dangerous criminals would be put back on the street, potentially endangering the public, and with criminals back on the street, it would scare off potential witnesses to help put them in jail. They also argued that money bail needs to be in place to actually protect defendants and the public, since the alternative to money bail, which is risk assessment, they argued would be far worse. And the impact, the negative team argued, is that U.S. hedge actually creates wars and instability in the world, so it's actually a bad thing. And then on the economy advantage, the negative team argued that the money bail system would hurt taxpayers since they would essentially replace the bondsman in the situation. And so money bail also looks at defendants equally, since judges have to take into account how much defendants are able to pay before they determine their bail amount. And that makes the best and fair system to have in place. On the impact of the economy advantage, the negative team argued that the affirmative can't solve their impact of economic inequality since they don't solve the whole unequal criminal justice system. People who are in poverty will still be arrested and convicted at high rates. And then there are many other reasons why inequality outside of the criminal justice system exists that the affirmative can't solve for, that have been going on for years. So now we'll look at the last two rebuttals. So the 2NR on the negative side and the 2AR on the affirmative side. The last two rebuttals are really, really important in a debate, since that's where each side gets to have their final push for why they should win the debate. And this is also where the judge has to decide between the 2NR's view of the debate and the 2AR's view of the debate. So specifically in this debate, both teams at the beginning of their speeches did an impact calculus showcasing why their impact should win the debate. So on a magnitude, the negative team argued that COVID affects us all and has caused a huge economic inequality impact on the US, which is bigger than economic inequality since it has been around for years, and we still haven't seen an impact from it. The AF, on the other hand, argued that mass incarceration has been a lasting pandemic for decades that results in a cycle of poverty, and COVID has hit jails the hardest, which shows states are not best at handling the pandemic. Then on time frame, the negative team argued that right now, the more important thing we have to deal with as a country is the COVID pandemic that's happening. On the other hand, the AF argued that mass incarceration is the most economically pressing issue today, since taxpayers are paying billions to keep it going. Then on probability, the negative team argued that we're already seeing state flexibility is preventing even more economic damage, but the AF argues that by eliminating cash bail, we would be addressing one of the main institutions that spread the virus. So then when we look at the actual federalism DA, the negative team argues their evidence about COVID regarding the economy, states, and Trump are the most recent and most up to date, and that cash bail has always historically been at the state level and not at the federal level. The affirmative, on the other hand, has brought up two instances where the federal government was granted control of cash bail, and states are not best to control the pandemic or criminal justice system. Then when we get to on case, the negative team argues that the Supreme Court has ruled cash bail to be constitutional, and by keeping cash bail in place and upholding U.S. hedge, it could lead to more wars and not less. So also by removing cash bail, it could lead to more money being spent by taxpayers and more pretrial detentions, which would hurt the economy. So by ending cash bail, it doesn't solve many of the other instances of injustices that exist in our system. Instead, the alternative to removing cash bail would be put in place, and that system does not solve inequalities. The AF, on the other hand, argues that there is a moral obligation to vote for them. Cash bail disproportionately affects Black and Brown communities, which causes a cycle of poverty and is unconstitutional. And many countries around the world actually criticize the US for their criminal justice system. And by not fixing the problem, it'll lead to more inequalities and instability in the world. So instead of cash bail, judges should look at each defendant on a case-by-case basis to determine their fate. And we can see in many states that has already been working, that have made that switch. So by voting AF, you save billions of dollars and you eliminate a discriminatory system. So that was the debate. Now we hope that you will become the judge and watch our demo debate video, flow the debate, and fill out a sample ballot and let us know who you thought won the debate. By learning to think like a judge, you'll also learn how to become a better persuader when you're in a debate. And it's a really important kind of critical step in becoming an overall better debater. And just a reminder, there's never a right or wrong answer whenever you do fill out a ballot. So don't be afraid to get the wrong answer or anything. It's all about learning in the end. And to incentivize you all to fill out a sample ballot, we have a couple of prizes that we're going to be giving out in different categories if you do turn in a ballot. So the first category is for most thoughtful ballot. So this prize will go to the ballot that thoroughly gives an explanation for why they chose the winner they did, by giving examples, comparisons, and reasons for choosing the winner. That will be determined who wins that category. And the prize for winning this category is a $20 Amazon gift card. And then the next category is best flow. So this prize will go to the individual that submits the best flow overall, and that includes demonstrating the use of 2 different color pens when you flow, organization, conciseness, capturing key arguments that were made in the debate, and we're looking for your best effort here. And the prize for winning this category is a $10 Amazon gift card. And then our last category we have is the most ballots we receive from a school. So this prize will be given to the school that turns in the most ballots. This one's a team effort, so go and encourage your teammates to watch and submit a ballot as well to be considered for this prize. And the prize for winning this category is the opportunity for your school to be showcased in a student demo debate, much like the staff demo debate, that will be used for the entire league for this debate season. So you get to show your school pride to the rest of the league. And we'll have winners in each category at the high school and the middle school level in each category. So there'll be 2 winners in each category. So to enter this contest, all you have to do is submit a ballot with your flow at the Google form link found below. If you don't find it there, you can head over to our Instagram at Chicago Debates, and you can also find the Google form there and submit it there as well. Just a reminder, the deadline to submit a ballot is Friday, August 14th at midnight. So go encourage your teammates, encourage your peers to watch the video, submit a ballot, and hopefully win amazing prizes. And that concludes our debrief video. We at Chicago Debates are super excited to get back to debate and the whole debate season come September, and we hope that this is just a small glimpse of getting you all just as excited for this upcoming season. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about how to submit a ballot or the video in general, you can reach out to your program officer if you have any questions. But other than that, we can't wait to read your ballots and hope to get many submitted. Thank you.